It's been 1 year since the ending of Attack on Titan, and it doesn't really matter whether you liked it or not, you have to agree that Attack on Titan is one of the most influential manga and anime series that we have witnessed in our lifetime. So hello and welcome to Underwisey, and in this quick video, I just want to take a look back at the ending of the Attack on Titan manga and give you all my updated thoughts in regards to this particular series and where does my expectations and where does my views stand in regards to all of these, because a year back when the actual chapter, that is chapter 139, came around, I made quite a lot of videos talking about the things or aspects which I really enjoyed and things which I really hated a lot. There are moments which I thought were filled with plot holes, and there were also moments which technically fall under fan service, but still I really enjoyed them a lot. And then 1 month later there came these extra pages from the volume ending which added a little more concept to the overall ending, and again some people liked it, some people disliked it. So let's just quickly talk about this ending once again in a sort of fresh perspective 1 year later, because things have certainly mellowed down a lot and I have also come to terms with the ending right now. I do not really hate the ending as much as I used to do, but still I have some thoughts which I want to share with you all 1 year later. But before that, let me give you all a warning for this video, because this is going to contain major spoilers from the ending of the Attack on Titan manga. If you're an anime only fan, then I highly advise you to click off this video if you do not want to get spoiled. Now let's start with the very end. What exactly happened to Eren? Was it really a fallacy? Did this interaction between Eren and Armin literally ruin Eren's character? Because that's a specific video which I made 1 year ago, and I just want to talk about it once again. So basically, no, I don't think that Eren's character was quote-unquote ruined because of these moments. It's just that there's a very jarring shift in tone, and yes, I do agree with some of the criticisms which came under my video that yes, Eren was always emotional, so it was obvious and it was natural to see an emotional outbreak from Eren Yeager towards the very end when he's literally dying. That is absolutely understandable, but the number one issue here is the pacing. It just came around so abruptly that there's no breathing room allowed. Once again, as I said 1 year back, if the ending got maybe 2 chapters more to expand upon the final chapter's lore and understanding or dialogues, I think that this would have been much better handled. This ending would have fleshed out a lot better. That's my only genuine complaint here, because all of these dialogues fell flat because they just stand underwhelming. And that's pretty much a theme for the entire ending of Attack on Titan. It's not bad per se, but it's just underwhelming. If you compare it to the opening of the Attack on Titan, be it the first chapter or the first anime episode, it's just underwhelming in comparison to the fierce outtake of the beginning. But granted, I just can't give a blame for all of these things to chapter 139 itself. When you reread the entire last 10 chapters, you do get to understand that a major problem lies with the build-up of these Avengers-style events, wherein how the Alliance is basically protected throughout this entire final battle. If we compare this to say something along the likes of Season 3's ending with the fight against the Beast Titan, we see how much of these skilled fighters are actually killed in the confrontation with Zeke Yeager and how much of a real threat he is to the Survey Corps. But that entire aspect is practically nullified here in this battle, because we see literally hordes of Beast Titans, past wielders of Beast Titans, who are attacking the people here, but they are just seemingly able to survive and they're able to dodge and they're able to do whatever they want. There's no real stakes happening here, and that's a major criticism which I still cannot get my head wrapped around. And talking about all of these things, I just need to talk about Halu-chan once again. And I feel like this is the worst decision that Isayama has brought upon into the series, even more than the entire King Fritz plotline, because I feel like with the introduction of Halu-chan, or source of all living matter, I know it sounds cool as a concept that this was the origin for the Titans and this was the origin of everything, but this character just seemingly appeared randomly out of nowhere in the final chapters. It became a huge threat. It randomly transformed all the people into Titans, and once Eren is defeated, it just vanishes out into the thin air and it transforms these Titans back into regular people without any plausible explanation whatsoever. And it also leads to one of the major criticisms story-wise, that this character inevitably acts as the major antagonist of the series. For a story like Attack on Titan, a clear-cut villain, a main villain really doesn't work, because this is a story about sides. From perspective to perspective, the story changes. But if you introduce a character like the Hallucigenia or the source of all living matter, it just acts as a natural villain and endgame villain for the entire series, and that's probably one of the major reasons why the ending felt so muddied and plot holish, because it's just there for the sake of being there. It's just there for the sake of being a villain, and it just randomly vanishes when Eren is defeated, and we don't really get any explanation about all of these things until the final ending or until the extra volume pages. Now again, here these pages are also quite divisive, because they sort of aim towards a Beren kind of situation. I know that this meme has been done a lot. I don't want to dig up this thing once again, but still, since this is the anniversary of Attack on Titan's original ending, I'm just gonna say it once again: Beren for the win. But yeah, we get to see here that the source of all living matter has sort of survived, and it has created the tree once again, and some future generation kid stumbles into it, maybe transforming or creating the cycle once again. But it is what it is. That's one of the major aspects of Attack on Titan. And lastly, I just want to talk about Eren here for a moment. I feel like he isn't actually ruined as much as I wanted to believe, or as much as I hated his character interactions in the actual chapter. Once again, the major issue here was the pacing and how the dialogues just come randomly out of nowhere. Had it been given some more time and spacing, it would have probably worked better, especially considering how Armin literally thanked Eren for the genocide. But yeah, it's basically an issue of the pacing. But lastly, talking about Eren, even though I feel disappointed with his character arc towards the end, I kind of understand that his ideals finally get achieved, because right from the very beginning of the series, his goal was only one thing: to eradicate the Titans. And whether you like it or not, he actually did eradicate Titans in the process. He leveled the playing field for his friends, and I know in the near future Paradis is actually destroyed in the modern world, but for the time being, he gave his friends a living chance, a chance to survive, a chance to grow old, and he gave everyone a fair bit of shot. It's something which you may like, which you may not like, but Eren did fulfill his promise. Eren did fulfill his initial goal. So overall, combining all of these things, I just want to say that I'm still not a huge fan of this ending. I still have my problems with how some of the things have been handled. There are still quite a lot of things which I've not really talked about here. I still want to make separate videos about all of these things. For example, the entire Mikasa versus Historia debate in regards to who was the person whom Ymir should have chosen, and there's a lot of these discussions which are there which need to be talked about. But for the most part, I believe that this ending is not the worst finale or the worst ending which we have ever seen for any anime series or manga series or story in general. I don't think that it is on the level of GOT, but still it's not a good ending per se. I can't say that I loved this ending. I can't say that I enjoyed this ending. The only moment of enjoyment for me in this particular ending was, ironically enough, almost feels like a fan service moment, but it is probably one of the most beloved parts of chapter 139, and I'm obviously talking about the Levi moment. When Levi finally gives the last dedicate your heart symbol to the entire dead survey corps, that was just heartwarming and heart-melting at the very same time. This particular moment literally makes no sense whatsoever in a story narrative, but it is probably one of the best scenes in the actual final chapter, which really made a lot of people emotional because of how heavy it really was, especially considering what Levi has gone through and what exactly he means for all of these people. But all in all, I will still remain an Attack on Titan fan. I'll still watch the final season, even though I would be definitely disappointed with a lot of the parts. But I feel like this is an okayish ending at best. I can give it a solid maybe 6, just that's it, nothing more than that. Had it been some other series, maybe this would have been okay, but for a series like Attack on Titan, this ending definitely feels underwhelming a lot, and that's my final thought of the day. So this is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. This is WonderYZ, and I'll see you all in the next one. In the meantime, be sure to join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and join the Discord server for more. See you all on the next one.